Season 5 was a huge milestone for the show Supernatural because it actually wrapped up what Supernatural set out to do. The original plan for Supernatural was a 5-season show. And so we started this big story which had so many different levels and was so complex, and season 5 is where it all finishes. And so we had Sam, my personal favorite was that my character found out that he had to be the vessel for Lucifer, and that was a really strange kind of realization for Jared, where I was like, wait a second, like I signed on to the show 5 years ago, and now I find out I'm going to be the devil for a little bit. It was really strange, but it was kind of, you're telling the story about good versus evil and Satan versus angels, and it was nice to see how it all came together. And I love like the Return of the Jedi, the last book of Harry Potter, where you see all these stories that have started finally get a chance to combine and mix together, and that was sort of my favorite, just the culmination of all these events.
Yeah, I will say kind of on the same lines that there's just this big climactic culmination of all of these stories that we kind of peppered and filtered into the show over the past 5 years is all kind of coming to a head, and it's nice to see how the things that seemed so mundane and in seasons past actually came into play and meant something in the end, and so that was kind of cool. It was also a big season for Dean, because up to this point, Dean has really kind of been the bystander to the big picture, which is Sam is the chosen one for the vessel of Lucifer, and to this point, Dean has kind of been the one who's been trying to to save Sam and to to be there to guide him and to keep him from going evil, and has never been a part of that mythology. But in season 5, we learned that Dean is now a crucial part of the mythology, and before then, he never really had that purposeful meaning in the storyline, aside from just being the brother. And so I think that really played well as far as motivation for both characters, because now you've got Sam and his destiny kind of lined up, and it plays into the whole mythology thing. But then now you have Dean, who is all of a sudden now he's a giant part of this story as well. So it's good.